Hi guys, welcome to the video where we continue with the series of 1v1 games between Suvak and Makrozerk in Armies of Exigo. This time we have a matchup on the Dark Side Forest map, and Suvak is playing with Empire in the top right corner with the blue color, and then we have Makrozerk with the yellow color in the top left corner playing with the Fallen race. So this might be interesting. We basically saw the reverse races in the previous matchup where Makrozerk actually defeated Suvak playing as the Empire race against the Suvak as Fallen. So this time the situation is reversed, but it's also a different map. Yeah, last time we had the Inner Sanctum, this time is the Dark Side Forest, so that also influences the stuff, of course, at least a little bit. Makrozerk setting up his deformer a little bit more in the back and then using his hive here to fully cover this basically. Yeah, not trying to cover with multiple hives in the back, just one in the front, trying to close it as much as possible, and the second one will be probably like right here. And then maybe close it here with control form. We'll see how he set this up. Suvak going for his barracks, nothing else more for now. Maybe a little bit delayed for some extra resources. He might play second barracks here now, but he is going actually for a farm, trying to close this as soon as possible. That almost looks like he maybe blocked it for bigger units. They might be still able to fit through, but definitely not a full wall for small units, but maybe he wanted to prevent spitters to get into his base. Second hive now placed down by Makrozerk. I think spitters should be still able to get through here. Stingers also on this side together with swordsman. And immediately building the incubator, not even making any stingers yet. He actually delayed everything just to get the incubator there as soon as possible. Now he's getting his stingers out. He also got way more harvesters than you would usually get before, of course, going for more summoners. So this is a really greedy opener, but unless Suvak finds him immediately with some swordsman push, this won't be a problem at all, and he actually still has the stinger out before Suvak, who also delayed this opener a little bit, I think. Now getting the second barracks, also second farm in the back, starting some wood gathering. Still no gems, while Makrozerk is already gathering his gems here, so once again a small advantage for him in that part of the game. Now they are meeting each other here. Neither of them found the enemy base yet, but I guess they have some ideas already. And it looks like Makrozerk is trying to go immediately for expansion. Such a greedy play as always, but somehow it most of the time works for him. We will see if Suvak will discover this or not. He still has this peasant scout here. And for now it's just stingers from Makrozerk, not even producing anymore. He has the incubator, but right now he's accumulating resources for the expansion. And I think this peasant should find this summoner. But he's a little bit too far away to start auto-attacking him automatically, and he found the base. Nice. So now Suvak knows about the expansion. Now we'll see how he will react to it. He can of course make his own expansion. He can go for a push on that expansion, or he can try to push the enemy main base. Also try to kill the control form here. Unfortunately that wasn't quick enough. And of course now there is the incubator prepared, so we'll see spitters probably from Makrozerk soon as well. Suvak is actually investing into defense now, which is not the best situation to be in, because now he's spending resources on towers that won't really help him, of course, and he needs to really quickly push this expansion or just expand by himself, but he is pretty quickly falling behind. We didn't see actually deformer from Makrozerk here for a tower, so no towers will be present here. He also doesn't have any towers in his main base. Now finally going for the first spitter. But he has lots of stingers, so that might be still enough to protect against these swordsmen. If Suvak actually decides to go for the push, he's going for tier 2 in his main building, accumulating lots of resources, so yeah, he's also going for expansion. But the Makrozerk expansion is already on 1500 HP when Suvak is starting his expansion, so Makrozerk definitely getting the economical advantage there, slowly getting ahead. He could fight here in this narrow spot with the stingers, but also there are some harvesters coming now, a spitter, so the swordsman still wouldn't kill it, but they could have gotten some small value there. Unfortunately the scout peasant of Suvak died here to a stinger, so that wasn't ideal. Now the expansion is finished by Makrozerk. He's setting up his first lightning spire for some extra protection. Suvak on half HP on his town hall, while Macrozerk is starting to get some first value here, but he has only 3 harvesters here, so he didn't pre-mate any harvesters, he didn't even make his second harvester for gems yet, so he just early sacrificed everything to get this expansion, and now he's still getting the value of 1 base from this, so even though he has 2 bases, the income is still the same, so he's giving some extra time to Suvak to actually prepare for this, who is also not pre-making any peasants now, so it actually won't be that big of a difference, but at least Macrozerk is not getting any extra value for now. But of course he's double producing harvesters in both bases, so he's definitely quickly catching up. He has the tower there, he has lots of units, he has 3 spitters, like 7 stingers here, making another spitter now, also some scouts around the map. While Suvak is also scouting there, now also making a tower. He has already a temple, but he doesn't have much to fight back against the spitters. Yeah, he doesn't have elf rangers, he doesn't have pikemen, catapults or anything else, and just swordsmen are pretty tough against spitters. Yeah, you need shell blazing, you need also priests, and you need open field to surround them, ideally even attack them from behind or something, which might not be possible in this situation. Macrozerk now also making a soul trap, so trying to transfer to some more late game or like mid game units. Also getting the insect haste upgrade for faster stinger movement speed. And here we have also Suvak now with not too many units. The tower is not finished yet. He needs to delay this attack of Macrozerk a little bit, but there are 2 towers, 1 on each side, so I think Macrozerk won't want to push into this. This tower is now finished, and the only chance for him I see is pushing through here, and maybe on this side where the tower won't have range. So Suvak definitely needs to set up another tower here probably, but for now this is okay, I think. I don't think Macrozerk will go for this push. He's still 4 population behind. Suvak is now getting the resources from it already pretty nicely. I think the income is basically the same now, so even though Macrozerk got the base a little bit earlier, it's not too much of a difference. But yeah, we saw Macrozerk placing another base down here, which is a third base for him. Well, Suvak is still on 2 bases, but he has some scouts there. I think he will find that expansion pretty soon, Suvak. So just this swordsman has to run into this base, and Suvak will know what's the situation. Then he can maybe expand here as well, or somewhere else on the map, or go for a push. We will see how he decides to react to that. For now, they are literally on the same population. Blacksmith is being finished as well. Still some units of Macrozerk roaming around the map. He is sitting on 4 hives, 1 more in the expansion there. Not getting any upgrades now, not utilizing the soul trap for any new buildings, but he's still getting experience, so that's good. He got a nice kill here on the scout of Suvak, a nice swordsman scout kill there. Also forced another one away, and now he actually, the Suvak ran into the army of Macrozerk and he decided to retreat. And there is still 4 spitters, which might be quite dangerous with so many stingers. So even with 4 priests, Suvak didn't want to risk it, rather just retreated a little bit. But of course now he is slowly falling behind on the macro because of this expansion that is being finished now for Macrozerk. Also now making a deformer there, so towers will be present in a second as well. And Suvak is still not starting his third base. He doesn't have any scout right now. I would probably like to see Elven Sanctuary into a Phoenix, which we don't see yet, so also no air protection. Kinda neglecting this threat. If Macrozerk would actually go for Valkakun and some guards, it would be really devastating for Suvak, who doesn't even have... he has 1 Elf Ranger now, but no Phoenixes, no Elven Sanctuary, and no towers near villagers, so that would be also really difficult for him to defend, but doesn't seem like Macrozerk is going for this strategy. And this is a really dangerous spot. Of course, the stringers won't be too effective in the narrow place, but the spitters will be, so I wouldn't really fight there. Another barracks, so not even going for gnome workshop. I thought this is gnome workshop for catapults, but he actually just wants to make more standard units. Now getting extra pikemen as well, which will be good if he can somehow get into good position. Yeah, going around maybe. He pressed this really early. I think it will fall off before he can get into the fight. But maybe he just wants to quickly go around the map and see if there are any bases. But this is already fully set up a base with 2 towers. Now also Vengeance Hall, Hive, full harvesters, and now Macrozerk is basically 3 fully working bases. He has only 4 harvesters here, so it's not like full, but definitely at least 2.5 base. So he should have a nice advantage. And these pikemen will now pretty quickly fall. Macrozerk is also adding nightmares to his army, so he will get some frost shields there for some stronger army composition. They are talking about grasp. I don't know if he already has that, probably yes. Also getting hunter reflexes, so upgrades are now 1-0 for Suvak and Makrozerk for both of them, and no upgrades for Elf Rangers now. But yeah, nice push from Suvak here, getting some kills there on the Makrozerk army before he could have reacted, but now there are the towers, a nice position. Suvak can't really push into this, now more units also coming, so I think he should retreat now, otherwise he will lose too many units, but maybe he can get some stinger kills there. Of course he needs to also retreat these priests, they are really close to this location, the spitters will start hitting them really soon, but looks like he actually took down a huge part of the Makrozerk's army, even though he's under the enemy towers, so I actually kinda like this engagement, yeah, this attack basically, but now we see the grasp in use from Makrozerk, so getting some kills there, and this will force Suvak to retreat. But yeah, Makrozerk definitely lost lots of units, Suvak now going for kinda heavy Elf Ranger army, trying to get the ranged units there. Mana depletion is now being researched, even though we haven't seen any matriarchs yet, but he sees lots of priests on the side of Suvak, so he's definitely preparing for it. And now Suvak also made this base. I don't know if he did with teamwork for power building, but even though he had smaller income for a while now, he was able to do a really efficient trade now in this fight. So I think since he kinda evened up the population, now he's actually even a little bit ahead. I think the economy advantage is basically non-existent for Makrozerk anymore. But he's trying to get another base once again, get ahead a little bit, but we'll see if he will be able to actually get any advantage from that. Some Windwalk buffs here, not sure what that was for, but I guess he can chase him down a little bit better, but yeah, into these towers he definitely doesn't want to push in. Still no catapults, nothing, yeah. Suvak is just going standard units, not even swordsmen anymore, just pikemen with Elf Rangers and some priests for it, which is pretty efficient against this. But now we see the gnome workshop at least being placed down. Makrozerk just fighting under 2 towers, definitely not a good idea. He lost lots of units there, he got maybe like 1 kill. Pikemen are already on him. Archers also dealing some damage there, also together with all those priests. And if that is a resurrection, Suvak is not basically losing anything from these fights, while he's getting lots of value from all these skills, and now he's already 26 population ahead, getting another base as well. Makrozerk another one too, so Makrozerk is still staying that 1 extra base ahead, but the army of Empire is just so much stronger. And same population that he's just constantly falling behind on population, even though he has those extra resources. Now we'll see if he'll be able to turn it around, maybe with the matriarchs. That will slow down the healing of the priests, maybe prevent at least the resurrections. Also using the stingers there to tank some damage from the pikemen, so the pikes can't get onto the big units that take more damage, but there is only 4 spitters left, yeah, so there is not even that many big units you would have to worry about. And this is another problem of the Fallen, he can't really push into the towers once again without getting Avengers, which is of course extremely expensive. He should have the resources for it, of course, from so many bases, but he has to first get the Chamber of the Avenger. He's also getting Hall of Whispers, so maybe potentially some Voidwalkers. Another option without Avengers is to get Stalkers and blind it with Decay, or Defiles, but that's also kinda hard. So some first mana burns, but Suvak is nicely keeping all of the priests in the back. We even see some cursed trees from Suvak, not from Suvak, from Makrozerk, so Suvak would need mages for this to dispel them. Also to dispel the skeletons. I think at this point when there is so many matriarchs and he also got the cursed trees plus he's using the necromancy, I think mages will be kinda good. There is still the mana depletion, but if he uses mana for mana depletion, he can't use the other abilities anymore, so I think mages would be just the best natural counter here. And we see Obsidian Tower already decree being researched, which can be also really useful, even though he still needs to preserve some mana for the dispels. I don't know if he already has disciples researched, but potentially he definitely has castles, so he could have. And now actually nice reinforcements coming for Makrozerk. He quickly catched up on the population difference, but I think he doesn't know about this expansion, but there is so many towers that he doesn't want to push into that anyways. He will now check this base, and Makrozerk is sitting on how many? 5 bases against Suvak's 4. So he's definitely a little bit ahead, still 11 population behind, resources perfectly balanced, a little bit more wood and gems for Makrozerk, but gold is the same. Makrozerk now here, you'll see if he'll go to the top base or bottom base first. But I think he maybe saw Suvak here. Actually, Makrozerk doesn't have his expansion here, but I don't think that will get finished, at least not anytime soon. And now, so many level 3 towers, and Makrozerk is just going into them. I think this is a huge mistake, because he will take so much damage, and also the AoE there, yeah, his army just burned totally. It is still only 1 tower, and I think, this harm damage from the trees, so they can't even probably damage these buildings. We see some damage here, yeah, Mage is joining, Makrozerk is just losing more and more. He's not grouped up at all, half of his army is here, the second half is somewhere else, yeah, these are still the trees. Now there will be also more upgrades for Suvak, who is getting now the buff from the mages, also from Priest Bless as well, but also from the mages the protective shells, which are giving him 15% physical damage reduction, which can be really good against the stingers and also the skeletons. And also the decrease, dealing some heavy damage to the army of Makrozerk. And Suvak is already on full population, so now he can just walk around the map with his undefeatable army, which is getting, of course, stronger and stronger with all the auras he's getting as well. And also he has some catapults, so not even towers will be a problem. And even though Makrozerk has definitely major map control now, are trying to literally fight with towers everywhere, Suvak still has the stronger armies, so now it will just depend how quickly he can actually walk around the map and how quickly Makrozerk can utilize the resources he got, because even though he has faster income, the resources in stock are basically still the same, at least in terms of gold. Unfortunately, yeah, looks like Suvak will lose something here, but maybe if he stays there for too long, Makrozerk, I mean, yeah, so Suvak can maybe log him in there and destroy him from the back. That could be another option. This could be dispelled, but probably doesn't want to waste mana on the 20 idle villagers. Yeah, looks like some bases maybe ran out of gold, or there were some other issues. Or all of these peasants actually, he needs to retrieve those 27 peasants idle. I haven't really seen these numbers before, but yeah, Makrozerk has more units around the map. Actually, nice harassment here on Makrozerk's base, but the grass will deal with that. Unfortunately, you need knights for these kinds of harassments. Otherwise, the grass will deal with that, but the grass cannot be used on big units, so knights are definitely something to deal with this. Even a level 5 archer, that's a huge damage boost for the whole army of Suvak. He's nicely using decrease here, dealing heavy damage to the whole army of Makrozerk, who tried to mana burn there, but didn't really work because it has short range, and now Resurrection quickly fixes that. But now there is a surround from 2 sides from Makrozerk, so Suvak has to fight on both sides simultaneously. But he's still casting something. He's also coming from the back with his armies, so it's like double surround from both of them. The catapults are kinda struggling here, but yeah, Makrozerk is still 50 population behind. He's struggling with multitasking here, not producing. He has the resources, but either he's not producing or he doesn't have enough production buildings, but he's definitely falling short here a little bit. He will lose all of his units, giving even more experience to the army of Suvak, making it even stronger. This base is not really working, of course, so that will also fall. Also, this base got kinda stopped, yeah, so nice harassment by Suvak. He's literally everywhere on the map, utilizing all the tools of his race. We haven't really seen any arc drops maybe in this game, but outside of that, we have really seen basically everything. Yeah, also Steambirds could be used, but for now, I think this is definitely enough. He is utilizing many tools and clearing the bases one by one. Even though he still is basically on 0 resources all the time, kinda like 1000, yeah, that's basically 0 at this stage of the game. He is still kinda nicely holding. Here he doesn't have any support of his casters, so he needs to regroup a little bit, but the catapults should hold this back. He has lots of melee there, so the front line is definitely present. Not sure about the upgrades, we can maybe double check that. He has 3 and 2 on Swordsman and Pikemen, and 3 and 1 on Elf Rangers. While Makrozerk is on 3 and 1 on Stingers and Spitters, and then 1 upgrade for damage on the Nightmares and Matriarchs. So not much, now totally getting destroyed by the decrease. Absolutely terrible positioning there. Also, he was not grouped up at all, and I think Suvak now totally swarmed him. Makrozerk now has basically this... Okay, Suvak now spent 2000 gold immediately. There was some insane queuing of units. But I think he is falling really behind. Yeah, Makrozerk is now out of resources totally, even though he had that major macro advantage. But he's just falling more and more behind. He doesn't have any more population. And I think this will be probably the end of Makrozerk, to be honest. So I guess totally dominating him with the superior army composition and micromanagement. Makrozerg has the bases, he has way more income. I think we will see it in the results that he had way more resources, but the amount of kills Suvak was able to produce here was absolutely insane. You can see all the levels the army, it's just a snowball effect. The army is scaling really nicely with all the levels, getting all the auras there. And since he was also combining multiple different units, pikemen, swordsmen and elf rangers, he was getting multiple different auras, which makes it even stronger together with all the buffs you get from mages and priests. It's really powerful, and the natural counter of Matriarchs is not that strong anymore, since the mana depletion has shorter range, so you usually get one-shotted by decrease before you can even mana burn all the enemy casters. And as you can see, it just wasn't really enough. Makrozerg wasn't able to fight back here with the superior fallen Macro, and he got totally beaten down by Suvak. So let's check the results. The game lasted for 27 minutes, a little bit longer, but still within a reasonable amount of time. You can see the kills here at 276 for Suvak, and only 123 losses, basically reversed for Makrozerg there, who produced like 50% more units, I would say, so definitely pretty nice. Then we have the largest army, exactly the same, but yeah, the experience, 30,000, only 10,000 for Makrozerg. I haven't really checked his levels on his units, but it was definitely nothing close to the army of Suvak. And also he had way more buildings, he was making towers everywhere, nice protection. Even though he has fewer bases, it was really hard to push for Makrozerg because he didn't have Avengers, he didn't have Stalkers with defiles, so just the army he had, basically impossible to push against the towers that just splash you down with the fire damage. Also a little bit more upgrades on the side of Suvak, so even more scaling the strength of the Empire army there, and resources, a little bit more for Makrozerg, but this is just not enough to make big enough of a difference to actually win this, so the fallen Macro was not enough here. But yeah, definitely a pretty interesting game. I hope you enjoyed it, maybe learned something from it, and I will see you in the next one, so take care guys.